Girlfriend wanted to open our relationship to sleep with a doctor during her internship. It was just once, and for her to explore herself. I refused, ended it, and now she says I ended things over a stupid matter and I didn't fight hard enough for us. We were both our first serious relationship and our first sexual partners. We both study medicine, not in the United States, and had an extremely stable relationship, barely any fights, and we're both happy and satisfied, or so I thought. A year ago, she mentioned before a trip I was having that if I found someone, I could get with them since it was such an opportunity. That led to a serious discussion where, in summary, I said that I would never want an open relationship, and that if she needed that, we had to go our separate ways. She apologized for jeopardizing the relationship, said it was a dumb thing she said without really thinking about it, and we carried on as usual. Now, I know in hindsight this was the first big red flag. During our studies, we have to go to small rural towns for 6 weeks, where we work in a rural hospital in various services. Not just the one my girlfriend is in, we are sent all over the place. Those rural practices have kind of a reputation for being very dangerous for relationships, and the doctors over there for being all over the students that arrive. A lot of stories of them hooking up with the new female students and stuff. It's very common. And yes, I agree that it's a problem and it shouldn't be as normalized as it currently is, since there's a power difference and the behavior is pretty predatory even though both parties are adults. So my girlfriend went to have her practice and the first 2 weeks were fine. We saw each other every weekend and it was as good as it had always been, or so it seemed to me. She then said that she went to have dinner with the hospital doctors, but that she stayed longer with one of them until very late in the night talking with him. She told me she knew that looked wrong, and she knew the stories, and she was a little ashamed about it, but thought she did nothing wrong since they just talked. I agreed and said she didn't cross any lines yet, but that it indeed looked wrong, and she shouldn't have done that. She then said that he invited her to jog the other day, the two of them alone, and that she accepted. I told her if she knew the stories and the stigma that those student-doctor relationships have, why would she carry on like this? She said she wanted someone to just hang out, and that if he showed interest in her, she would not lead him on and have her guard up. The next day, she tells me they didn't jog because it apparently rained. I told her that I really didn't like that she was playing with fire. She told me I was right, and that she reconsidered everything she was doing since thinking about it a bit more. She found the doctor attractive, and it would be dangerous to carry on. She said his intentions were still not clear, but she would be flattered and feel good with herself if he did try to make a move on her. Since all of this was happening, I brought up what we talked about the open relationship before. She had some time to think, and when we talked again, she said that it was something that interested her, that she would like to try it someday, that she thought it was something that could work. I said very clearly that I would never agree to that. She said it was fine and that she would never ask me to open the relationship, and that it was just a fantasy she had in her mind. Cut to 4 days later when we see each other again. She says we need to talk. She told me that the doctor was now really hitting on her and was clear that he wanted to have sex with her and that she also really wanted to sleep with him. She said the rural practice was the perfect opportunity to try something else and to sleep with someone else. She said she wanted to explore that part of her, and the doctor was the perfect chance to do so. She was attracted to him. She said it wasn't a big deal. She just found him kind of attractive, and that, well, it's very rare for her to receive the attention of another man, so she wanted to explore new things. I said that I thought she was crossing a line, that she constantly moved boundaries, and that my mindset was clear and I would never agree, but I asked if her desire was so strong that felt the need to ask again. She said, fine, then we can just continue the relationship as normal, and she will respect it, as she always has, and not keep going with the doctor. She said she loved me and was happy with us. The next day, we talked again. After our last talk, I was already kind of making up my mind to finally end things, and she again expressed how much she wanted to have sex with him and how important it was to her, and that she didn't know when she would have another chance to have sex with someone else. Later that day, I went to her house. She was home that weekend, and ended the relationship. She was absolutely furious, said I ended things over a stupid matter, that I didn't fight for the relationship, that I couldn't handle her having the hots for another man, that she was willing to fight and not be with the doctor and try to carry on as normal. Basically, she said I was an asshole and I gave up on us for a stupid matter. Best comments: OP answer a couple of questions. She wanted to cheat, but also keep you as a fallback when Mr. Dr. Dude dropped her for the next cute lady he meets. She probably already crossed that line and was looking for retroactive forgiveness. She said up until then, she had respected the relationship, and she would try to carry on as usual, but I just couldn't. I felt things had changed. She still had 3 weeks left over there, and the desire she expressed to sleep with him was so strong. Even if she didn't somehow sleep with him, I can't fathom someone trying to hold back what they really want just to be with me. My guess is they slept together on the day it was raining and they couldn't go for a run. That's why I decided it had to end. If it wasn't with this guy, it would just be someone else down the road. I am heartbroken because everything was just so damn sudden. This is strange though. Female students go to rural practices and suddenly they start sleeping with everyone. It's not that they sleep with everyone, it's that there are many stories of doctors hooking up with the students during those practices. Several of her friends hooked up with doctors during them. I'm sure guys also hooked up during those times, not only the women. She is literally asking to cheat on you. According to her, she just wanted to talk about opening up the relationship, and that I overreacted and just ended things without a fight and for over such a small thing. What country is this that doesn't have basic HR in place? It's Colombia, Latin American country. Rules like that are pretty lax here, sadly, and what happened to her is pretty common to other students and is pretty normalized. If it's any consolation, have heard similar stories of things happening in UK rural placements too. You've done the right thing with your now ex. She'll be texting you after the 6 weeks when her rotation is up in that small town. Just ignore her, and she can enjoy her student loan debt. The way I see it, you could have dropped her when she even thought about an open relationship. Thank you. Here in my country, we don't have the awful issues you guys have with student debt. But if she regrets what happened and tries to come back, she's in for a rude-ass reality check. Small update. I still want to thank everyone who had good insight, advice, words of understanding, and helped me realize that not only did I make the right call, I didn't jump the gun and didn't end things over a small matter, but actually that I should have ended things sooner. It's now seeming obvious, but when the person I loved and trusted so much looked me in the eyes with that anger and said that I made a mistake, that I gave up so easily for a small matter, that I didn't fight or try to understand, that she just wanted to discuss things, I believed her for a moment, somehow, but not anymore. Love really makes you dumb and blind, I guess. Be well.